Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. So today, I am going to share with you a really powerful concept that I'm calling the trifecta of your money mindset. This concept is all about how our thoughts about ourselves, our thoughts about money, and our thoughts about ourselves in relation to money shape our lives. I truly believe that if you can understand and master these three areas, your thoughts about yourself, your thoughts about money, and your thoughts about yourself in relation to money, you can totally transform how you view money and how you handle money, ultimately changing your financial bottom line, your net worth, how much money you have, how much money you make. All of those things are affected by the trifecta of your money mindset. Okay. So when I'm done kind of explaining this concept to you, I'm going to then share 4 powerful thoughts that you can start thinking about yourself, like that final trifecta, your thoughts about yourself in relation to money that can literally change everything. Okay. So I'm so excited about this podcast. Make sure if you are able to take notes if you're driving. Maybe think about coming back to this episode and really listening to it maybe more than once, or even listening to it when you are able to take some notes, because it's super, super powerful. And I know that you'll get a lot out of it today. So first, let's talk about how we see ourselves. Our self-belief is so crucial in shaping our finances, right? If we believe that we are capable and deserving of wealth, then we are more likely to chase our dreams and take financial risk, right? We're more willing to invest in ourselves. We're more willing to go after our desires if we truly believe that we were capable of achieving the results that we want. And if we truly believed that it was possible for us, then we would be so much more open to doing things that we've never done before. And here's how I know this is true. I want you to think about a time that you felt super confident and went after something you wanted. That is the same confidence that's going to help you to go after the financial life you wanted, right? If you're confident that if I go for this job, if I go on this date with this person, if I have this conversation, if you're confident in your ability to do it, and if you're feeling optimistic about the outcomes that you're able to create, then you're more likely to go after things, right? Most of us don't go after the financial life we want because we don't think it's possible for us, because we think that there's this money gene that we just don't have. We think that it's possible for other people, but not for us. But when we can start to think about ourselves as fully capable, fully worthy, and fully able to create the financial life we want, then we will start doing things differently. We will stop sitting on the sidelines. We will stop creating the same financial results over and over again, and we will start doing something different to create a different result. So just having confidence in yourself, just believing that there's nothing wrong with you, and that if one human being can become wealthy, then so can you, right? So many of you have examples of this in your life. A lot of you are doing very well financially. You have great careers, you have great businesses, and I want you to think about how you got there. You got there because you believed you could. And when you believe you can do something, that is when you'll start taking action steps. Even if you don't have full belief, but you think maybe it's possible, maybe I can get there, then you'll just start taking steps and steps and steps. And eventually you'll notice, oh my gosh, I'm getting closer. I'm getting results. And then you just keep going and eventually you get there, right? And so I want you all to know that your thoughts about yourself and your capability is so important when it comes to building wealth. Okay? Now, I want you to know that in my money coaching program, the Wealthy Woman's Academy, if you work with me privately or in the Wealthy Woman's Academy, we work on building your self-confidence and overcoming self-doubt. We dive deep into identifying and challenging all of those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And I provide you with tools and exercises to boost your self-esteem when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your ability to create more money, to handle the money that you have, to build that wealth and enjoy life at the same time. That is what most of us really desire. And inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy, I teach you how to do all of this. Next, let's talk about that second component of the money mindset trifecta, and that comes to your beliefs about money. Society often sends us so many mixed messages about money, right? But what if we started to see money as a tool, a neutral tool that can help us to achieve our goals and to make a difference in the world while living our best lives? If we could just take all of the negative thoughts around money, that money is the root to all evil, that rich people are greedy, that you're not capable of handling money, or money is hard. If we could just take all of those negative thoughts about money and push them aside and just see money as a tool, which is really all it is, right? Money in itself is not evil. Now, can someone who is an evil person do evil things with money? Absolutely. Just like someone who is evil can do evil things with a hammer, right? You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use a hammer to hit someone upside the head and literally kill them, right? But it's not the hammer. The hammer is the tool, right? The hammer isn't inherently evil. No, it's a tool, and so is money. So you can think about money as a tool. Take away all of the things that we have been taught about it in church, in our families, in our lives, and just say, okay, what if it's just a tool? And if I'm a good person, then if I have money, that's a good thing, because then I'm going to do good with that money. I'm going to enjoy my life with that money. I'm going to help others with that money. I'm going to do good things with that money, and I'm not going to do bad things. Money in itself cannot make you a bad person. Okay. Money doesn't have that kind of power. It's just a tool. It's just like a hammer, right? And you are the person. You are the person that will decide if you do good or bad with it. So I think that is one of the biggest things we need to really realize. And then the other thing is to know that money is not hard to get, right? I remember growing up, and I heard this all the time, and I'm sure you did too. Money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard for your money. But what if money does grow on trees? Because truthfully, if you think about paper money, where does paper come from? Trees. And they're making money all the time because we have so many trees, right? Even just thinking of it a little differently like that, I know what our parents and other people were trying to say. Like, they wanted us to know the value of money. They wanted us to know that money isn't just appearing out of nowhere, and it doesn't, right? But it does appear a lot more easily than we were taught to believe. And so just little thoughts like that have made it difficult for some of us to build wealth. This is why I am so passionate about helping my clients inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy reshape their beliefs about money, right? And some of the work that we do, some of the most important work that we do inside of my coaching programs, if you work with me in the Wealthy Woman's Academy, or if you work with me in private coaching, is that we bust some of these common myths and work on creating a healthy, positive relationship with money. Now, let's look at the third and final piece of the trifecta, which is all about your thoughts about yourself and money. Okay? What we're doing here is just putting these ideas together, because when we believe in ourselves, right, when we have self-confidence, when we believe in our capabilities, and we have a positive view of money, that's when we can create a strong, healthy mindset around money that will lead us to building wealth, that will change our net worth, that will change our financial bottom line, because it'll change how you handle your money, right? It'll change what you do with your money. It'll change the actions that you take around your money. If you're going to go after that promotion, if you're going to invest, if you're going to overspend, if you're going to constantly keep yourself in a debt cycle, all of that is determined by your thoughts about yourself and money. So we want you to have a strong and healthy mindset. And not only does that mean that we're confident in our abilities to make and manage money, but we will also feel worthy of the wealth that we create. And in turn, we will keep the wealth. A lot of times, some of us, subconsciously, we don't feel like we're worthy of having money. So even if we have the skills to make a lot of it, we subconsciously don't believe we should have it, or that we're worthy of it, or that we're deserving of it. And so we sabotage it by overspending, by overgiving, by just not taking care of it, by not investing it. And so a lot of us, and we know this is true, a lot of us are really good at making money, right? We are high achievers. Some of us are doctors. Some of us are lawyers. Some of us are nurses. We have our own businesses. You may be a professor. You may be a real estate agent. You may be a coach, a consultant. You may be someone who does something else, right? And you know on paper that you make good money, right? There's no specific number that is considered good money, but you get to determine if you make good money or not. And you know that you don't have as much as you want. And that could be because you're sabotaging yourself. But when you can really learn how to think about yourself and money differently, then you can stop doing that and start accumulating money and building wealth while still being able to enjoy your life at the same time. So in the Wealthy Woman's Academy, we integrate all of these perspectives to build a solid money mindset so that we can create the financial results you truly want, right? If you want to be debt free, if you want to have $20,000, $30,000 in savings, if you want to max out your retirement accounts yearly, if you want to make more money in your career or your business, we do all of this inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy. And if you want my assistance, if you want my help, if you want my guidance, I would love to be your coach. All you have to do is go to www.jermainefoley.com/WWA and read all the details about the Wealthy Woman's Academy, and then book your consultation so that we can sit down. I can answer all of your questions and we can see if it's a good fit. You can use that same process if you want to have private coaching. And if you want to have private coaching, when you fill out the form to make your appointment, just make that clear in the comments. Just say, I'm interested in private coaching. Okay. I would love to assist you and help you with changing your money mindset and working on your thoughts about you as an individual, because I promise you, you are capable and you are worthy of having wealth. You are inherently worthy because you are a human being on this earth. There is no amount of money that's too good for you, and there's no amount of money that you can't create. The second thing I want to help you with is your beliefs around money. When we think of money as a tool that can be used for good, then that's when we open ourselves up to being open to receiving more of it. And then third, I want to help you with your thoughts about you and money together, because I promise you, if you can master those three areas, you can create any financial results that you want. Okay, now, as I said at the beginning, I want to now share with you 4 thoughts that you can adopt and start thinking about yourself and money. These are 4 thoughts that I think if you can master them, if you can practice them, even if you don't believe them right now, it's okay. But if you start practicing them, if you start questioning them, if you're, like, well, maybe this could be true for me. Maybe I am this person. Maybe I do have this skill. Maybe I can cultivate these skills. And I'm going to share with you these thoughts I'm going to share with you. Then you can change it all. Okay. So let's get to them. Okay. So thought number 1 is this. You are in complete control of your finances. This is so important because I used to think that I was not in control, that my finances were just happening to me, that things were just outside of my control. But once I figured out that actually it's me who's in control, then that's when I was able to make some huge changes, right? I thought that there was like this money gene that I missed, that it was my lot in life that I would struggle with money. But until I figured out, oh no, it's my behaviors. It's the way I'm thinking about money that's creating all of this debt, that's creating all of this money stress, that's creating all of this tension around money. Once I figured that out, then it was game over. The game was over and a new game began where I was now in control of the pieces of the game, right? I was in control of how the game was going to be played. And I want you to know that you are in 100% control of your finances. So wherever you are financially right now, this might be a tough pill to swallow, but I want you to know that you created it. And when you can take back your power and not blame it on something outside of you, because if you blame your financial situation on something outside of you, then that means you're powerless. Then that means you're at the mercy of something outside of you to change in order for your finances to change. And that is not true. And it's such a powerless place to be, right? But if you can just decide, no, it's all on me. I created this. The amount of money I have in my bank account right now, I created it. The amount I have invested right now, I created it. The amount that I have in debt, in credit card debt, and any other debt, I created it. The amount I have in savings, I created it. The amount I spent last week, I did that. The amount of money that I make right now, I'm agreeing to this amount of money. And I know some people think that the amount of money you make is up to your employer if you are employed or your customer if you are in business. But if you, again, put the responsibility or the power outside of you, then you're at the whim of other people. But if you can just say, no, actually, I'm in control of how much money I make, because guess what? My employer can decide what they want to pay me, and it's up to me to negotiate. It's up to me to stay at this level within the company or to go after a promotion. It's up to me to stay or go if I feel like I'm underpaid. I could also decide that, you know what, I do want to stay where I am, but I also want to have supplemental income. I want to start a side business or a side hustle of some sort. Right? So when you can take back your power and say, oh my gosh, I am in more control than I thought, then that's when you can change the game as well. Okay? Number 2, you are 100% capable of figuring this whole money thing out. Right? Remember what I said earlier? I thought that it was my lot in life to struggle. I thought that most people just struggle with money. Like it was just a part of the human experience to struggle with money. Like I had no idea that there were people who didn't struggle with money. And if you can just hold on to this thought, and I'm going to put it in first person for you, I am 100% capable of figuring this money thing out. And if you practice that thought, and even if you don't 100% believe it right now, put the word maybe in front of it and say something like, maybe I am capable of figuring this money thing out, because there is nothing wrong with you. If it's possible for a human being to figure out money, then it's possible for you because you are a human being. There isn't a money gene that wasn't passed down to you. I had to learn that for myself, and I want you to know that too. And with that, you are capable of becoming good with money. You know why? Because it's a skill that anyone can learn. It's not like this inherent thing that you either have or don't have. It's actually a skill. And we as human beings can learn new skills, just like you learned to walk when you were a toddler. Think about it. You were born as an infant. You did not know how to walk. And think about the process of learning how to walk. It's not like you just stood up one day and started walking. No, you had to learn the skill. You had to learn how to put one foot in front of the other. You had to learn balance. You fell down a bunch of times, but you never quit trying to walk, right? You didn't just stop trying to walk once you failed the first time. No, you got back up and you tried again. It was still a little wobbly, and maybe you took 2 steps and then you fell again, but you tried again. That is how it's going to be with your finances, right? To become good with money, you're going to have to take some steps. You're going to have to learn some new things, and you're going to fall down. But as long as you get back up, you're going to figure it out. And again, I would love to help you with this inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy. All you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/WWA. And if you want to do private coaching instead, that is available through that same site. All you have to do is click on book a consultation and then put that in the notes when you select your time. I would love to help you because I know for sure that if you are listening to this, you can build the skill necessary. You can build the skills that are necessary to become good with money. And you're 100% capable of figuring this whole money thing out, I promise. Okay, so let's look at the third thought. Here it is. You can learn the skill of keeping more of the money you make. So many of us, again, are good at making money, but we're not good at keeping it, right? And I want you to know that you, again, are capable of keeping more of the money you make. I told this story before, but I'm going to say it again. So many of you all know my not so pretty money story. Episode number 2 talks more about it if you want to hear it. But my husband and I, we were in a ton of debt, over $200,000 worth of debt. And we were on a mission to get out of it. And the way we did that was we figured out how to build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. And my definition of building wealth is paying down debt, building up your investments, building up your savings, making more money, and just managing all that very, very well. Okay. And so our first step was to get out of debt because we had so much of it and most of our disposable income was going to debt payments. So we were very strategic. So whenever there was a bonus or a raise or any extra money outside of our savings and outside of the things we were doing to enjoy our lives, we put on our debt. So for us, we did not learn the skill of keeping more than a few $1,000s at a time. And so every time we got extra money, we put it on the debt. And I thought once the debt was paid off, that it would be super easy to accumulate our savings, to build our savings up to the amount we really wanted it to be. And it just did not happen that way because subconsciously we were used to not keeping money. We were used to sending money away in some form. Even though, we were doing something good with it, we were still sending it away. We were not keeping any of it. And so I had to reprogram myself, reprogram my brain to actually be able to keep money. It's a skill and it's an uncomfortable skill to learn because sometimes, subconsciously we're just not used to having money. And when we see it, we just want to sabotage it away. And so this is what I want you to know, that you can reprogram your brain as well to be able to keep more of the money that you make. Okay. Making more money, though, is not always the answer. And I know that so many of you think, well, if I just made more. But honestly, think about it. How many times have you gotten a raise, a promotion, or made more in your business and you're still kind of in the same financial position with your net worth, with how much debt you have, with how much you're investing, with how much you have saved? For most of us, it's still the same, right? That's because making more money is not the answer, especially when you're already doing pretty well. Now, of course, we want to make more money all the time, right? We always want to be open to receiving more money and making more money. However, that is not going to fix the problem because think about it. It's like having a pocket with a hole in it. Like you can stuff money in it all day long, but if that hole is not sealed up, the money is just going to flow away from you. And so know that you can learn that skill. And this is something that I really help my clients with inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy. This is probably the skill that I am known for, is to really help people keep more of the money that they make. And I'm not talking about being frugal here. I'm not talking about giving up everything you love. Not at all. But I do believe that this is a skill that can be learned, and there are some things that you will have to learn how to do in order to do it. So again, the Wealthy Woman's Academy, you can go to jermainefoley.com/WWA to learn more and then to book a consultation if you're ready to really work on this skill. So the fourth and final thought that I would love for you to adopt and start thinking about yourself and money is this one. You can become good at building wealth and, capital A-N-D here, enjoying life at the same time. I think so many people do not even try to change their money situation because they think that they're going to have to live this boring, frugal life in order to do so. And I know 100% for sure that that's not true. And I know we're fed this, especially as women. We're told to stop buying lattes, stop buying so many shoes, to cut back, to coupon, to go on a strict budget, to stop going to restaurants, stop going on vacations if you want to get debt free or if you want to build wealth. And I am here to tell you that that is not true. You do not have to give up all the things you love in order to build wealth. Now, here's what I will say on the other side of that. You do have to get clear on what is important to you, and any and everything cannot be on that list. You do have to prioritize. This is something we also work on inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy. That first one-to-one session that you have with me, we get super clear on what is important to you. And then we build a plan so that you can do those things while still building wealth at the same time. Okay. So now I'm going to restate these 4 thoughts you can think about yourself and money. I'm going to restate them, but I'm going to restate them in the first person because I know I did them for some, but not the other ones. And I want you to say them back to yourself. Like, this is about you. You. If you're listening to this podcast, this is about you. Okay, so thought number 1, I am 100% in control of my finances. Number 2, I am 100% capable of figuring this money thing out. Number 3, I can learn the skill of keeping more of the money I make. And then finally, number 4, I can become good at building wealth and enjoying life at the same time. I hope this episode was helpful. If you want support, remember you can go to the show notes or go to www.jermainefoley.com/WWA and book a consultation. I would love to support you and to be your coach and to help you figure this money thing out. All right, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Woman's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's Jermaine with a G. See you over there. Bye-bye.